All right, so we're moving on. We're going to continue with self-confidence, self-concept, self-esteem, all those things. Like I said before, this is a longer lesson. If you are learning from remote, I'm going to be just going over the lesson, and it'll be a little bit long, a little bit drawn out, but it is what it is. Let's just rock steady with it so we can get done. All right, so students will understand the importance of accepting positive comments. How many of you just show your hands now? Boys, how many of you take comments easy? Hey, I marked you. Did you just come in?
No.
I think I marked you absent. Ah, boo. Okay. Push pause on my screen, please. Just put not the stop button, but the pause button. Thank you. All right, so we're back to where we are. Your objectives. Understanding the importance of accepting positive comments. How many of you have trouble saying thank you, or you accept your comments when people say, hey, you did a good job, or hey, I'm proud of you. Oh, I love the way you do that. You're so good at that. Okay? How many of you struggle with receiving comments? Okay? That is a self-confidence issue. That means you're not seeing what somebody else is seeing. Okay? So we got to work on those things. Okay? Discuss the problem of basing one's self-concept on performance or negative comments. Okay? Some of us respond better to negative than we do positive, and it shouldn't be that way. Okay? Define self-confidence and distinguish between self-concept, the way you see yourself, and self-confidence. All right? Develop an understanding of self-confidence, because we should all have it. Okay? Explain the characteristics of people who have self-confidence, such as goal setting, risk taking, and perseverance despite failure, because failure is not final. Okay? I always say to fail forward means you learn from your mistakes. All right? So let me scroll on. We're going to watch this video really quick. That goes along with the lesson when we're talking about self-confidence. Oh, don't do this to me. Okay, here we go. You may have seen it. So just watch the video for a moment.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name's Kyle Tomlinson.
Nice to meet you, Kyle.
Nice to meet you too.
Where are you from, my darling?
Sheffield.
Sheffield. And how old are you?
I'm 15.
Okay, Kyle, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm really nervous.
I can tell, that's okay. Take your time. It's all right.
Well, I came a couple of years ago, and I got told to get a singing teacher, and...
Who told you that? David?
Yeah.
Me?
Oh, okay.
Doesn't sound like the kind of sensible thing I'd say. Was it said it quite harshly?
Yeah.
Really?
And Kyle, how old were you when he said that to you?
12.
Well, unbelievable.
Boo! Yeah, boo, boo,
Well,
boo.
I'm shocked. So presumably for the last couple of years you've been working with a teacher?
Yeah.
And you're feeling more confident now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do you need a little sip of water or something before you start? David.
Darling.
Too late for that. Too late. You try everything you're going to be nice now.
What did the
You
others
weren't nice
say?
then.
What did the others say?
They were right nice.
Were they?
Well,
This is strange.
I was the mean one.
Yeah.
Yeah, be nice one here.
Oh, that's a lie.
Anyway, we're here to support you, Carl, so good luck.
Here's your chance to
Thank
prove
you.
David wrong.
What did they say?
Thank you.
Come on, son.
You can do it.
I heard there was a secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composed an hallelujah.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
Maybe
stood up there, you put your heart and soul on the line, and we all felt it, and we were all there with you. That was brilliant.
You know, this just shows you, Kyle, when someone grinds you down and says, you're not good enough, you come back and look them in the eye and you go, I am good enough.
David, what did you think?
I thought it was really good.
Make up for those negative words.
Well done. And you know what? You've sung with real passion. And that's what it's all about.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You gave every single ounce you could possibly give to that performance. Well done.
Well done, Kyle. It was a really, really moving performance, and I'm really glad you came back and proved me wrong.
Thank you.
You like that?
I really loved
I
that.
really loved it.
We will see you live in the studio.
That is a dream. That's like a fairy tale, isn't it? That really is.
Enjoy yourself.
Okay, good. So that was just a good example. Okay, I know it's a little bit long, but you wanted to see the whole process of words. Okay, we always say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's the biggest lie you've ever been told all your life, because words can hurt. Okay, it depends on how you receive those words. And the judge, gave some negative words to him when he was younger, at 12 years old. Now he could have taken those words and he could have given up on his dream of singing, right? Because of what you gotta think about it. This guy is, he's a judge, he's a big person. Well, if the judge says that I suck, then I must not be very good. So he could have made up his mind to throw away his dreams. But instead, he took what the judge said along with what the other judges said, and he decided that I'm gonna continue. I may have failed this time, I didn't make it, but I'm gonna continue to work on what I desire. And that's what he did, and he came back, and as you can see, he grew, he matured, he learned from his mistakes, and he came back, and those same negative words were turned around to where he is now. So talking about how things hit you, how you receive them. He was anxious, he was nervous because he was before a bunch of people. You could see when we talk about anxiety and how he was doing his hands, you could see a little bit of trembling there. But you could also see his confidence when he got started. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time when you get started. First you feel a little anxious and nervous, but as you get into the groove of things, while you're doing what you do best, okay, that anxiety and that nervousness subsides, and you can flow a lot easier like he did. And of course he got a lot of positive comments. He received a lot of positive, and he received them. He didn't say, no, I'm not good, or I didn't do good. He listened and he absorbed what those people were saying to him. All right? So that is just an example of what that self-confidence looks like. He didn't give up, he didn't throw in the towel. He did our W's over there. If you want something, you must be willing to put in the work, and then it'll be worth it, okay? If he hadn't have done it, he would have still been wishing, and those are 5 W's that are on the board over there, okay? So good example. So I wanted to show you that, and it's a part of the course as well. So let's get back to where we left off. Now I gotta go back and find where it went. I'm scrolling through, sorry guys that are watching me. Let's pull up the lesson again. I'll just do it from here. Let's see if I can get it from here. Okay. Make sure I'm on the right one. I think I just downloaded the wrong one. Boo, 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 and boo. Hold on, let me scroll down to the bottom. Sorry guys, this course is kind of challenging to navigate sometimes. Where's my 9? 9. Will you push pause for me for a second? I'll be right back. Thank you. All right, so we're back. So hearing negative over positive. How many of us say that our negative words speak much louder than the positive ones? How many agree with that? That you can have 20 positive things said about you and you hear them, but if one person says, man, you are the worst at that, I don't know why, you know, you look a hot mess today. And maybe you really don't, but just that one person's opinion stands out, okay? And you've heard 20 great things, but those negative words speak so much louder. And that is the nature of humans, okay? How we've been taught, our circle of influence, well, we haven't been taught to understand that we are supposed to receive the positive, okay? That we're not supposed to be concerned about how others see us, but we do, okay? So as leaders, there are some problems we need to be aware of. First, we do not hear all things equally. We tend to hear negative things more loudly than we do positive things, okay, that are said to us, and that's just the truth, okay? What I want you to do in your journal, okay, you guys don't have your, some of you have them, in your journal, says what are some negative things we hear or think about ourselves, okay? So in your journal, let's jot down a couple negative things that you hear about you. What are the things that you hear about yourself that are negative? If you're at home, you're doing the same thing in your journal, in the back page where we write, get your journal out. Come on, come on, come on. What are the negative things that you hear about you, okay? And if you're comfortable, you can share it. If you don't want to share it, you don't have to. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to push pause. I'll be right back. If you're in your journal at home, make sure you write those things down. Okay, so let's continue. We're going to keep moving forward. We don't have a lot of time. Time runs out so fast. It's like this class is shorter. But anyway, it says we must learn to accept the positive things people say to us as well as the more critical comments. You got to learn how to be able to take criticism. Sometimes people are going to have a negative type of criticism, but there's also something called constructive criticism, and we'll learn that in health class. Constructive criticism is really when somebody is pointing out something that's maybe not right, or you're not doing it right, or it's wrong, but they're also telling you how to fix it and they're helping you to fix the problem, okay? Whereas just negative criticism is just telling you how bad you are without giving you any ways to make improvements. So there's a big difference between just negative criticism and constructive criticism. But you have to be able to learn how to take some hard hits, some hard words from people, but know that maybe that's going to help me, or that's going to help me to do better, okay? And not absorb it in a way that tears you down, okay? So continuing, self-concept based on performance, okay? Our second problem we need to be aware of is that we tend to base our self-concept on our performance, and that can be really dangerous, okay? This is deadly for a leader. Let's see why. We simply can't afford to base our sense of worth on our abilities or our performance, because those things can change so easily, okay? They can change very easily. If we base our sense of self-worth on something that is so up and down, something that is sometimes governed by events over which we have no control over, then we are always at the mercy of those events, okay? Because life can change, life can change, life can change, events can change. We tend to think, how can I be a good person when I do bad things? Our sense of self-worth must be based on who we are, not what we do. Now, yes, it does feel good when you're good at something, or you do a good performance, you know, or you stand out in the crowd. But that should not be the basis of how you see yourself, based upon the things that you do, okay? I only like myself because I can do this. I only like myself because I'm good at this sport. I only like myself because other people like me, okay? Your self-value and self-worth should never be based solely on the things that you can do, okay? You gotta be able to love yourself just for being you, okay? And that's what really makes you stand out in the crowd. And that's when those things that are around you, what people say about you, are not as damaging, when you know your self-worth, when you know your value, okay? So, let's continue. We're not gonna play that game. Do you understand what I'm saying? Of course you do. Okay, you see, as a leader, you can't allow your thoughts about yourself to be based on your performance. Your performance will always be up and down, okay? You're gonna have good days and you're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have positive thoughts, you're gonna have negative thoughts sometimes. This doesn't mean that we don't try to do our best, We've already said that leaders are committed to growth. So we always want to get better. And that's just the bottom line. We always want to be growing. We say from faith to faith and glory to glory. We want to get better and better. Okay, we want to learn from our mistakes. We want to learn from the things we've done right and what we've done wrong. Okay, to move forward. We've already said that leaders are committed to growth, to personal excellence. It's good to have a spirit of excellence. Okay, it just means that we will not allow our performance to control how we choose to feel about ourselves. Okay, I tell my kids right now that are learning tennis, and woo, I've got some brand new kids on the courts. And I have one kid that'll swing, every time she swings the racket, and him too. They're like, oh, I'm like, just stop saying, just focus on learning the motion. Focus on learning the motion. But every time they miss the ball, it's like they're doing all this stuff and looking around like, no, pull it back in and focus. If you're seeing that you can't learn it, you're not going to be able to learn this. But if you listen to somebody that knows how to do the sport, and you let me train you, and you don't worry about every time the ball fails, every time you hit it, you don't get it, okay? If you think that, hey, I want to learn this, Coach Harris is going to teach me and I'm going to get it. It's the mindset of it. But if they keep saying, all the negative stuff, then it prevents you from being able to learn. Does that make sense? Yeah, you got to want it. I tell them when you're doing something out there, you got to want it. But if you want it, you got to let me train you. And you got to be able to receive the criticism that I'm giving you, the constructive criticism, and then you got to put forth effort. If you're just standing there and just whipping your racket and then thinking you're going to get it, you're not going to get it, okay? And me as a coach, I have to try not to get what? Aggravated, yeah, frustrated. Because sometimes I want to say, just get over there and sit down. But that wouldn't be a good example, okay? Now, I may need to tell you to go over there and sit down for a moment and breathe, and then let's come back and do it again, and then I'm going to help you. So you never let that student or that athlete see your frustration, because sometimes I'm like on the inside. But as a leader, I want to make sure that I'm presenting myself in a way that you know that I care about your performance, that I want you to be successful, because I do. Okay, but as leaders, we can get frustrated as well. But it's all in how we present it. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Now, ask the question, what are little babies good for anyway? Are babies good for anything? No? Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, babies are good because you guys were all babies. I was a baby at one point. I was a good baby probably. Yeah. Anyway, it's important that it be asked in a demeaning way. So I'm supposed to say, what are good babies good for anyway? All they do is poop and cry. You gotta change their diaper. They just they're, in other words, they're just a burden, You gotta change your diaper all the time. You gotta feed them. They get diaper rashes. You gotta rock them to sleep. They keep you up at night. They're crying all the time, Well, I'm just gonna read it from the script. It's important that we say it in a demeaning way. So I'm supposed to be like saying that babies aren't that great, okay? Not really, I mean it. They don't produce a product, okay? Only thing they produce is waste products, because they do all the time. They can't help around the house. They can't mow the lawn. They can't even make money, okay? They cry all at the wrong time. I'm trying to sleep and the baby's crying, They keep you up late at night. They throw up on you, and they can't even conduct an intelligent conversation besides babies, okay? So, what do we really say about little babies? But even though this is what babies, they don't really produce anything, do they? They're really a lot of work. But when you see a baby, oh, that baby's so cute, Oh, it's so precious. Oh, it's just, look at it, it's so wonderful. Oh, look at your baby. Well, yeah, you gotta spend money on the baby, you gotta do this for the baby, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. So if you think about it, that baby is not producing anything, it's not doing anything, but yet we still see it in a positive way, okay? Baby's happy, it's cooing, and this, that, and the other. But when you talk about how you view something, does that make sense? Is it making sense to you? So suddenly the rules have changed, and Daddy screams, "What's wrong with you?" Unfortunately, what Timmy hears is, "What is wrong?" So that baby grows up, you're cooing and you're loving the baby, this, that, and the other, but as the kid gets older, that same child would say, "Oh, you're so cute, you're so wonderful, you're doing such a good job. Oh, look at you, how you kicked that ball." But then all of a sudden, as you're getting older and you're maybe you're 9 years old, you're 10 years old, and finally your parent says, "What is wrong with you? What are you doing? What's wrong with you?" How many have heard that before? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Okay? The way you can hear that can make you think, if my parent is asking me what is wrong with me, then maybe what? There's something wrong with me. What's wrong with me? Oh man, there's something that's wrong with me. And there develops that place where we talk about self-concept, the way you see yourself, and the people that are right there in your circle, and they say, what is wrong with you? A lot of times we take that the wrong way, or it comes at you the wrong way. We're not saying that something's wrong with you. We're like maybe asking, what are you doing? You shouldn't be doing that. But it comes out as, what is wrong with you? And all of a sudden, in a child's mind, they're thinking, there's something that must be wrong with me. Wow, something's wrong with me. And it's bad because it says right here, it's so bad, Daddy doesn't even know what it is because he's asking me. So if my parents don't know what's wrong with me because they're asking me, or my guardians, there must be something really wrong with me. Do you see how that can get turned around? Okay? And that self-concept and how you see yourself, okay? It really, words are powerful. Then you start examining yourself, man, there's really something wrong with me, and you don't know what it is. And that can tear down how you see yourself, okay? How you see yourself. So, how many of you accept who you are? You accept who you are. You don't have to raise your hands. Good. You accept who you are. You can embrace you. You can say, yeah, this is me. This is me. This is who I am. This is how I look. Yeah, I got eyelashes on one side, don't have them on the other. You know, I'm tall, I'm fat, I'm short, I'm black, I'm white. Okay? I got long legs, I got short legs, I got one leg longer than the other. You know, whatever. Whatever it is. I'm in a wheelchair, I'm on crutches. Okay? I'm not good at sports. I haven't really figured out what I'm good at yet. It's just me. This is just, maybe I can just do technology. I don't know. I don't even know who I am. But yet you can embrace you, okay? Embrace who you are. You have to know that you are valuable. You have to know your worth, okay? And then we always go back to, how do I do that? How do I do that? If I've never felt it before, what does it feel like to love who I am? What's it feel like to embrace who I am? Coach Harris, how do I embrace me? How do I embrace this person? Okay? How do we do that? Does anybody know? Anybody ever thought about it? Anybody ever thought about it? Yeah. You have to wonder, how do I embrace me? Or is it just something that happens? Am I just confident because it's what's been poured into me? It's who I am. Okay? I like me, I love me, I embrace me, I accept me. Okay? Sometimes it just starts with the thought of you thinking it. Yes, I do accept me. This is who I am. Okay? I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to be the best version of me that I can be. It all starts right here in your mind about how you see yourself. So self-concept, what you think about yourself. Who decides what you think about yourself? Okay? Who really makes that decision? You do. You do. You make that decision. Regardless of what's been said to you, you've got to change the way you think. You got to start taking out those negative thoughts and realizing that that's really not true about who I am. Okay? Change the way you think, change the way you live, change the way you see yourself. Okay? What are we going to choose to think about ourselves? Okay? What do you want to think about you, first of all? If you don't think it, what do you want to think about you? How do you want to see yourself? Okay? Then you have to start doing it. It's just a matter of putting thoughts into action, changing those thoughts and making them positive. And it's called thought replacement. We're going to get a little bit into that as we move on. But I know that I'm going to be out of time. And so this is a part of what we'll have to do next time before we even get to our handout, because this stuff is on the handout, okay? So I think I'll pause right there because I don't want to get into the next part. Characteristics of people with self-confidence. So when we come back on Tuesday, we'll jump in here. We do have to get an assignment there. I'm going to probably give you a daily grade. Leave your journals open. I'm going to come around and just peek at them. I know I had to do a writing assignment as well. You guys that are at home learning from mine, I'm hoping that you're listening to me as I'm teaching these lessons. I know they're long and it's not as exciting, when you're not in the classroom. And I also know that when you're watching it from a video, it's not that great. These guys here are quiet because they can't be on the video, so I apologize for that. But make sure you're listening to the video when you're going through the lesson, okay? Make sure you're taking pictures of your journal and sending those in to me, because those are your daily grades. If you don't get them, you get those goose eggs, and I do drop them like they're hot. I don't like to hold on to them. But if you send me your work, I put your grade in, and then you're held accountable for getting your team leadership credit, okay? So you guys, some of you may be coming back on October 19th. I look forward to seeing you. We're going to have a packed house in here, but all will be well, okay? Y'all have a great weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday.